Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Week 7 fantasy football recap. We are going to attempt to make this week nice and short since it is kind of late, and we're gonna get straight into the scoring for my players this week. Peyton Manning came up with 26 points up against Austin Davis's 11, so Peyton did win the quarterback matchup this week, which is always a great start. We will get into my receivers next. My receivers, Deshaun Jackson, Doug Baldwin, who I actually just picked up off waivers this week, and Terrence Williams all had, finally for once, all three of my receivers had a solid production this week. But unfortunately for me, I was up against Sammy Watkins, who has had by far the best game of his career so far against the Jets. But I did win the wide receiver battle this week too. Now, getting into my running backs a little bit, and his running backs as well. This week, Arian Foster decided to just go ahead and throw up just about 50 points this week. And DeMarco Murray, he's always in there, always good, had about 34. So, yeah, and my measly little running backs, Marshawn Lynch is still struggling, underperforming for the third week in a row with only 14 points, and Darren McFadden, who I just picked up, who was supposed to have a big game against the Browns this week, really didn't. He didn't even have a touchdown. Only got me 16. So I lost the running back matchup this week by a landslide. Zach Ertz, my tight end, he had a good week. 10 points is about what I expect from Zach Ertz. But, yeah, again, up against Rob Gronkowski, who my opponent had, Rob Gronkowski had 41 points, 3 touchdowns, and 149 yards for Rob Gronkowski. So, yeah, no tight end was going to outperform Rob Gronkowski this week. Steelers had a big game this week. Sweejum made 7 extra points. Those were all 7 of his points. Justin Tucker up against Justin Tucker with 15. So I did lose the kicker battle too. My defenses this week, Indianapolis, don't know what happened this week against the Steelers. Never seen the Steelers play that well in a game in forever. Indianapolis did, however, come up with 2 fumble recoveries and a block kick, and wound up, even though giving up 51 points against the Steelers, still did get me 6 points this week somehow. And Tampa Bay's defense I picked up this week because they were facing Minnesota's struggling offense, and Tampa's defense did get me 17, which is solid. We were up against Buffalo's defense, who was one of the top defenses this week, with 24 points. They had 4 interceptions against the Jets and 4 sacks as well. Along with him also having Tennessee's defense, who had 5 sacks. So I lost the defensive battle as well. Now going into individual defensive players, Levy and Dansby both had solid games. Bunch of tackles in there. Ray, on the other hand, did not because Burfict was back. So I actually have already dropped Ray. He's no longer on my team. And this week, I did lose the battle at individual defensive players as well. Now we will take a look at my bench players. Andre Holmes had a good week this week. Unfortunately for me, I did not play him this week. He was my highest scoring receiver on my team. He was helped by the touchdown that he scored. Jay Cutler was not as good as Peyton this week. Jay Cutler did have 2 2-point conversions and 3 passing touchdowns this week. No turnovers for Jay Cutler this week. I lied. He had 1 interception this week, and he was at 25, which was just a little bit less than Peyton. And then we had Trey Mason, who I picked up this week just in case. He's already not on my team anymore. He had 7. So, after looking into my players, we can take a look at the score for this week. 175 points is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a small total to score, and I was still destroyed by 95 points this week. 270 points put up by my opponent is just wow. Yes, we can say all this stuff. 270 points was the most points scored in the league this season, up to date. And 95 points was the 3rd highest margin of victory in the league this season. So we are on the wrong end of those 2 stats this week. And we fall from 4-3 to 4-4 and fall down to 4th place after week 8. So after the kind of halfway point of the season, we are in 4th, which still has us in the playoffs, but 4th is not where I want to be. 4-4 is definitely not where I want to be. I only had 4 losses my whole fantasy football season last year, so we need to hopefully turn things around for the remainder of this season so that we can get where we need to be to try to win this league. So I have for today, and until next time, good luck, have fun, and be safe.